Hi, everyone. Tonight I wanted to talk about Cordelia from King Lear, specifically Cordelia's suffering, or a description of her suffering as relayed by another character, an unnamed character called the Gentleman. This is from Act 4, Scene 3, and essentially it's a conversation between Kent, King Lear's trusted servant, and a character just named the Gentleman. And what it's about is how did Cordelia, here referenced as the queen, she is the queen of France at this point, how did she react to the contents of the letters she read? And it's essentially about King Lear, how he's doing, and what her other two sisters, Goneril and Regan, what they're doing. So here it starts off. Kent, did your letters pierce the queen to any demonstration of grief? The gentleman, aye, sir. She took them, read them in my presence, and now and then an ample tear trilled down her delicate cheek. It seemed she was a queen over her passion, who, most rebel-like, sought to be king over her. So it was her grief, it was her grief which tried to overwhelm her and force her to express that grief. Kent says, oh, then it moved her. The gentleman replies, not to her rage. Patience and sorrow strove who should express her goodliest. Which quality should best express her current state of mind? You have seen sunshine and rain at once. Her smiles and tears were like a better way. Those happy smilets that played on her ripe lip seemed not to know what guests were in her eyes, which parted thence as pearls from diamonds dropped. She began to cry. In brief, sorrow should be a rarity most beloved, if all could so become it. So the gentleman is describing how beautiful it was to see her express her grief, and yet at the same time try to uh, be poised about it. You know, try and manage it in front of him. So, what can we learn from this brief passage about how we should handle suffering? So, the first thing is patience. One of the first qualities he mentions is patience. So, even though she was sorrowful, she was also patient. So, anytime you're experiencing suffering of any kind, whether it's physically, mentally, or spiritually, be patient. Shakespeare, I think, almost the single greatest quality uh, that Shakespeare talked about the most was patience. If you read all of his plays, you will see the quality patience, and especially in Othello. Okay, so be patient. So that's one of the things that we can learn. The second thing we can learn, again, the gentleman references her smiles and those happy smilets, those brief little smiles or smirks. Or I should say smiles. It's not a smirk. And so here it's teaching us when we're suffering to have a positive attitude and try to be happy about something. But I think essentially positivity, trying to have a positive attitude, uh, regardless of what you're going through. Okay. And then the last thing is she did express her suffering. She began to cry as pearls from diamonds dropped. So Shakespeare, in many of his plays, writes of grief, writes of sorrow, and how to overcome it. One way to overcome it or to lessen it is to express it. If you don't express it, the suffering will increase in intensity and be more overwhelming to you. So Shakespeare is advising us all to express it in a healthy way. So whether that is through crying, through talking about it, through writing about it, through some healthy way to express it. So again, to sum up, through this beautiful passage, one of the most beautiful passages in all of Shakespeare, the three things that we can do with our own suffering is to be patient, is to attempt to have, not only attempt, but produce a positive attitude repeatedly. Meditate more on your happiness. And then also express it. And then the third thing, express it. Express it in a healthy way. Okay? Don't express it in a negative way. If you express it in a negative way, it's only going to increase your suffering. So find a healthy means to express your suffering. Please let me know what you think of Cordelia. What do you think of the role she plays in King Lear? And if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.